Hey, welcome to WWDD. What would Dean do? Got a real interesting one for you here. We've got this nice little piece of cherry that's as smooth as you can get, except for if you look in here, it's all rotted and falling apart. Well, this happens to be my 12.5 foot high sculpture man that I'm making with the head up here, the eye. We got the big nose coming down here. The craggles are the teeth. That's your lower lip. And you can see I'm starting to tape off right now. Here's your jaw coming down to your Adam's apple. My concern is, in order to get some urethane on this, I've got to get it in here also. So if I put urethane on this, this is two-sided, so it's going to be a stand-up sculpture. If it dribbles through all of these decaying holes, it'll come out the other side, puddle up. Then I've got a mess on my hands. So I'm going to do a couple experiments. One is I'm taping these areas off, and I'm going to stand it up. I'll put a jig on each side so I can lock it and keep it in the upright position. And then, bless my little soul, I'm going to try this Minwax spray poly and see if I can spray down in this area without getting anything on my surfaces. Probably get a little bit on, but that I can sand off if it's only a little bit. That won't go on as thick as if I were doing urethane, but this is an experiment, so we're going to find out. If you want to ride along with me, I'm going to take this side off, flip it over, tape the other side off, stand it up, get it in a jig so it stays stood up, spray it, and we'll see where we go from there. So there's another way I thought of too, is I could just take this thing, get a big blocker here and a big blocker there on the underside, basically elevate this slab up in the air. So if I drizzle the urethane, it's going to go down in through out the other side. Won't mess up the bottom because it'll drop through maybe 6 inches from the bottom here down to the surface. Problem with that, I'll still have drip marks. Then I still have to do this. So here we go. We're going to start taping this little puppy. Keep taping it. I just do the best I can. And keeping in mind that when you spray, there's overspray. Important point is to try to get this sealed right at the very edge. Yeah, right. And away from all the little craggles and cracks and everything. I'm going to try to pull it around like this. This stuff doesn't like to go in a circle. Now I could use thinner stuff and then come back with the thicker, but I don't have it here, so this is what we got. So we put that down, we just start taping, and I'll try to keep the spray away from here so it becomes less of an issue. That should do it fairly well. Now this is going to be an interesting area here because it's kind of down in, and I have to seal that. So I'm going to have to do it from both sides. I don't care if this hangs over a little bit, over the edge of it here, because I can spray down in. Now this may have to come up a little bit. Can't have that too far down. There. All right. I think we can make it happen. Ooh, she's a tough one. All right. Let's block that off right there. May have to come back and do some of this by hand. Some of the little areas. And worst case, it doesn't work. I'll probably just go ahead and sand it down and redo it. But with faith in it, all right? That's how things get started. We just experiment. Okay, I think for the most part that, I'm going to fold this under a little bit. That is what I want to accomplish on this side. So let's move the earphones over there. Pick this baby up. We're going to flip it. Better get these out of the way just in case, because that's a big heavy piece of wood. 2 1/4 inches thick, 5.5 feet long, 5'2". There you go. See, we're gonna have to do the same thing. You can see right through here. So we're gonna have to tape this just like I did the other side. You'll still be able to see through, which is okay, because then I can see to get the spray in there. Don't like that. So what I think I'm gonna do is lay this down. This is my rubber matting that we usually walk on, but I'm using it right now because it holds things in place and it doesn't dent them. It's nice and soft. So it's come in handy. And I think when I build my jig to hold this straight up in the air so I can spray it, I'll line the inside of the jig with strips of this so it won't damage it. We won't have wood on wood. We'll have wood on rubber. And I always keep trash can handy. And the big thing there. So let's see. We can actually pick this up. And let's do this. Okay, come on, Buttercup. Let's do that. Now I can work. Now I can work next to me. It'll be a lot easier. So let's see what we can do with this. See, we're not going to spray into the eye hole. I'm going to worry about that later. But we are going to spray down through here. So we're going to take this little rascal off. Right there. This poses a crazy problem. If you got a solution, send it to me. I'll try it. Craziness basically being that I'm going to have to spray some of this and then sand the top off because there's too much going on here. If I tape it all the way up to here, it's going to blow down through. So no good solution. No good solution. Nope. That I can do mostly with poured urethane. So a lot of that can be poured urethane. And we're just gonna sacrifice and see what we can come up with. We'll have some that's not gonna work, but that's part of the learning process that we're gonna go through right now. Which is no big deal. It's a nice day out. We can stay here and learn. Not that I have anywhere to go. Big crevice down in here, but I'm not overly worried about that. All right, let's see. Let's pop one in this direction. And I think we can sand off whatever our sprays are. The overspray, because little spots like this and this, that's probably less than half the surface area of the Cragglies. So we got to make a determination one way or the other. I'm going to take this off because I really don't want that getting messed up. And I'm going to come back when I have to fill in places like that that are open. I'll take some tape, wad it into a ball. I also have some foam. I'll stick right here, fill this up, then take the tape off, and then I can come back and do some spraying on it. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It's an experiment. We use what we've tried to gather over the years, but Most of that's dusty. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get the jig ready to stand it up, and then we'll go ahead and look at what we can do to spray it. Thanks. WWDD.